All right, everyone. Welcome to another video. I'm Hephaesterhoff here. Today we're going to go ahead and dissect the patch notes 1.01 that just came out on June 9th of 2020. Let's just dive into it. Surprise, don't lie. You don't think you'd be getting patch notes this week. I did not. These are lighter, sure, but patch 1.01 continues our efforts to improve performance, this time focused on a smoother combat experience as well as additional support for high-spec machines. Okay. Our new mode Spike Rush gets an injection of new orb types to play with. For example, a golden gun orb that lets you one-shot anybody with the quickness. Also, Sage gets a nerf. Promise we're not picking on healers. Okay, this is a lie, but that's okay. Gameplay balance. Sage. Barrier orb. Cast range reduced 20 from 20 to 10 meters. As a sentinel, Sage is supposed to be most effective when defending territory she already controls. The 20-meter cast range was allowing Sage to aggressively take control of neutral territory in a way that was inappropriate for her role in Valorant. This range reduction aims to keep her strong while defending territory, but reduce her efficacy at taking ground. That makes sense. There's nothing in this. I get their vision for Sage, but yeah, I mean she's still an auto pick. This doesn't change. She's still, you need one on your team if you're going to be taking it seriously. I'm trying to think where this might affect. The thing that's come to mind off the top of my head is Split, which is the map with sewers on it. If you're down on B point, you could have cast Barrier Orb up into Heaven to block off people coming from Heaven down into point. Don't think you can do this now from B. You might have to get up on that little ledge where the rope is. But that makes sense. I hate to see Sage nerfed even more, but I get why they're doing it. Map updates. Ascent fixed several spots where weapons were falling through the world and issues with wall penetration. Okay, this is just a quality of life buff, but it's a very good one. All maps. Modified several call-out names to better match player terms. This is really good because it means that they're embracing the community and they're listening and watching what people call the maps. The thing that I can think of off the top of my head would be on Ascent mid pizza. I've never heard anyone call it that. People just say mid. I don't know if they're going to be changing that. Or on Bind, which is the map with teleporters, Hookah, which is that little room that runs parallel to B long that looks down onto B. Everyone calls it Hookah. I don't even know what it is in the game off the top of my head, but maybe that's something that they're talking about here that they modify. Spike Rush update. Each game of Spike Rush now features a set of 5 randomly selected orbs of the 7. Yep, 4 of the remaining 7, so 8 total. The full ultimate orb is always available. The other 4 will be of the remaining 7 orb types chosen at random. Chosen orb types will be shown in a description widget, both in character select and during pre-round. This is very good because now you can choose what character you want to play based on what orbs are going to be spawning. Some characters care about the speed orb, for example. Jet really likes the speed orb, or Raze really likes the crippling decay orb. This is good. This is good. New orb types. This is like the oh, here's the golden gun, right here. All right. Health orb grants team-wide health regen instantly. Very good. 20-second duration. Wow. 12 HP per second with 3 HP per tick, so 4 times a second. That's really good. Sound effects and visual effects only play while actually healing. If they wouldn't have done this, this would have been a future quality of life buff that they would have added. A lot of people would have gotten annoyed with that, so that's really good. That's a lot. If you're winning firefights, every single time your team's getting reset to being completely full. This is almost a win more, but it's setting you up to make even fights always in your advantage. Deception Orb applies Paranoia, which is Omen's Q, I believe, to the enemy team 3 seconds after capture. So it has the Crippling Decay Orb. 10-second debuff, okay. That's a long time. Vision is greatly reduced, and a small field of vision shift. Sure, so that's just what Paranoia does. Fake footsteps and gunfire play for affected players, and minimap is disabled. So this is strong. These are strong. This is insane. You're obviously taking away their vision, but also taking away their audio means that you're going to get such a positional advantage on this, and it hits the entire enemy team after 3 seconds. This is big. That's a very good orb. That's a very good orb. This is one of the more anti-fun orbs that I've actually, heard of or thought about, but that's very good. Golden Gun. So they probably just highlighted this one because it was like, their prize cattle, the one that's the coolest to talk about. Grants capturing player a golden gun, which is one shot, one kill, perfectly accurate at all times. Wow. Agent moves at knife speed. Okay. Only has a single bullet in chamber and 2 backup rounds. So it has 3 magazines, each of them 1 bullet. Kills grant an additional round, so an additional bullet. It's weird that they chose, why didn't they just use round 3 times or bullet 3 times, whatever. So this is obviously playing off of the 007. golden gun. Probably going to be either a classic or a ghost. Really good for people who like resets on kills. Reyna is the person who comes to mind for that. It's going to be able to abuse that really well. Miscellaneous. New pre-run HUD elements that show weapon and potential orb types for the current round. Players now get 1 ultimate point for collecting any orb. So these feel like quality of life buffs for the game. Performance updates. This is just computer specific. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mute myself, sit here for a few seconds. You guys can read it, pause the video if you'd like to. All right. Only thing worth noting is here it says that there's some Viper improvements for HUD elements, which I hadn't noticed, but that's interesting, and I'm glad that they're doing that. Quality of life, and then a bunch of bug fixes. Okay. I'll pause over these bug fixes real quick as well, so you guys can read them if you want to look into it. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the quality of life buffs, which is this section here. Sova's recon dart will behave more consistently and only reveal the portion of enemies behind a wall. I didn't know it was behaving inconsistently, but I'm glad that it is now consistent. And only reveal the portion of enemies behind a wall. I assume that means if they're hiding behind a wall and like their arm is sticking out, it's going to show their arm. Probably not the gun that they're holding, because that wouldn't be part of their agent model, but this is interesting. Almost feel, I don't know if it was revealing I feel like it was revealing the whole person before, so this almost feels like a little bit of a nerf. Maybe that was the consistency that they're talking about. It's going to consistently reveal all the person or none of the person based on how much it was showing, is what it did before. Added a setting that allows the inventory to always appear. So this is just I assume both of your primary sidearm and knife. Pings no longer draw over allies and enemies when placed behind them. This is good. Just, clarity. Transition out of game now shows the map you just played instead of Brimstone and Sage walking into a teleporter. I liked this loading screen, but this makes sense. That's a good fix. In the shooting range, changing character now uses a lightweight and more performant UI than the flow going into a match. So it was probably just reloading the whole shooting range before. So this is just, ease on your computer, quickness, very good change. Missions on the end of game screen are now sorted by completion and by type. So this is for all the OCD people out there, myself included. Good change. Minor visual improvements to contract and battle pass rewards in the progression widget located at the top of the screen. All right, so that's just for the sake of looking a little bit better. Yeah, this is a really good patch. A really good patch. It means that they're listening to their community. You can see with the call-outs and stuff that they're doing. They're listening to the community. They're trying to make Spike Rush more fun and more varied. This is a good patch. Very, very good first patch as well. Game hasn't been out. Your game has been out for exactly a week at this point. Already putting out a patch, doing some very minor tweaks. It's good. It means that they're keeping up with it, and they're wanting to make the game better in the long run. I have nothing but hope after this patch note reading. I am coming out of this feeling very positive. There's a lot of bug fixes down there too, so nothing but positive energy coming off of this this patch note article. All right. Well, anyways, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe with anything that you notice, anything you guys might want to add or talk about. Check out my other videos. Just uploaded some gameplay of Spike Rush, and I've been uploading the agent breakdown videos as well. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day.